It's perfect timing, mama. And now I'm feeling just let you do. Top of the morning, the afternoon, and the evening to you. This is for you, my number one. Shout out to Usher, you feel me? Top of it, man, and welcome to the Mind of a Man Network. This is the introduction. For those of you who may not know, I am your host with the most, Anthony Moore. Ant Mo, for those of you who may not know for sure. And welcome to the introduction, man. So this is really simple, man. I was having a conversation with my partner, man, earlier, and we were just talking about certain things, about stuff in the content world. And I said, you know what? I have yet to do a video to tell these people what I keep referring to as the network. And so I wanted to make sure that with this video, I left no doubt, hopefully, you understand what the Mind of a Man Network is about. And I want to start off by telling you what it ain't, my brother. I wish I had my glasses so I could put it on and go real Farrakhan with you right now. See, because the black man, the original man, Asiatic man, that's a whole other story. Hey, waiting for the Anunnaki, but that's a whole other story. But anyway, and I don't believe it. So anyway, you misspell network. It happens. I'll fix it in post. Thank you, Lashonda. I think I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose. Thank you for the help, though. I really do appreciate it. Hey, Miss Reese. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I want to give you guys an insight into what the Mind of a Man Network actually is. And if you're here because you're like, he's stupid, he spelled network wrong, I did it on purpose. You're here, so stay a while. Get your little glass of wine, pull up close, and notice that I got the thighs out like Shannon Sharp. Okay. So anyway, now we own it. Now we own it popping. So just some housekeeping, man. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this with 1, 2, 3 people, and then put done in the chat. You feel me? You smell me? Good. Let's get it going. So anyway, I wanted to talk about what the Mind of a Man Network is. I want to tell you about what the page is not. I want to tell you about the vision. You so funny. Shout out to Reese. Hey, I got to give it to you tonight. You beat Bruce Wayne to the punch. You beat Bruce Wayne to the punch tonight. I can't even lie. Yeah, so appreciate that. Number one fan. Like I said, this is for you, number one. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so let me start this off by telling you what this page is not. Okay? Now, some of you may look at the name and you say, the Mind of a Man Network. I'm a feminist. How dare you talk about the mind of a man? Well, you hold your horses, Betty, okay? Because that ain't even what this is. You understand what I'm saying? So I had the idea and the vision years ago to shift the podcast in general from I just needed to be consistent, laugh out loud. Anyway, let me get it here so I can talk to these people now, Reese. Let me talk to these people now, Reese. But so one of the things, man, a couple years ago, post-pandemic, what I wanted to do was I felt the prompting to shift from Wayne's World Podcast, and if you look behind you, this beautiful painting that Trey Wilder did for me years ago, I shifted from Wayne's World, which was doing really well, to be honest, to the Mind of a Man. And the whole idea was very simple. I wanted to give people a relevant, unbiased, yet realistic idea of what goes on inside the mind of a man. We're multifaceted, all of us. I'm not going to act like some are super special. You know, some may be super simple. I think at the core of who we are as men, it is very simple. The messaging is very simple. And that's some of the things that we talked about today. And that's the idea of, I don't think it's the chicken before the egg thing, but it's like if you treat a man like a king, you'll be treated like a queen. And I really think it's that simple. And it's not on anything red pill, because that's what we also, that's what this network also isn't. We're not red pill. We don't believe in bashing women. We don't believe in calling them B words and talking to them crazy and hanging up on them and kicking them off our platforms and all of that thing, all those things that you lames do. We don't believe in that. We're also not blue pill though. So we're not gonna be the pimps of pander. You understand? So we're not on here trying to woo women, very Dexter Jackson-ish, talking one way but we live in another. We don't believe in that. So I don't want to be on here, and I don't ever want to have a man on the platform that is complaining about his life, complaining about his wife, more importantly, because I think it's okay for you to kind of have healthy places to vent. But to come on any platform and to talk about something that you have control over and that you could actually do something about, we don't believe in that over here. So we're not red pill, we're not blue pill. We just reality over here. And we're going to speak from our perspective. That's the best thing that we could speak from. And then we're going to just keep it pushing. You understand what I'm saying? So the mind of a man is really just helping you to understand more about what's going on inside of here, because this and this coincide. And so when a woman, because women are very much welcome to look at whatever content is on this page, and that's the idea. I want you to be able to peek inside and say, okay, what's going on over there? What they talking about? Okay, they being real about what they think and what they feel and what they want out of life and what they don't want out of life. We want to remove the mystery of what it means to be a man. And so that's really what it was about, was being able to create a platform that was multifaceted with the context of what it's like to actually be a man, to think like a man, to feel the things that a man may feel that he may not speak about, all of those things, right? So that's what the platform is not. The platform is, like I already stated, it is something to help build up men and women alike. But primarily, though, if you fix the men in the church, if you fix the men in the household, if you fix the men in the workplace, then you typically are going to be able to fix that whole establishment. And so I wanted to also create a bridge to say, hey, man, we love you over here, but there's accountability over here. Okay, there's love, but there's accountability. There's real talk. And so with that understanding, let's come together. Let's have real conversations. Let's cultivate each other. And then from there, we'll grow, each one teach one, and we'll go from there. And so the vision of the Mind of a Man Network is to put out like-minded content for the masses, where it's not just Anthony centered. I want to be able to extend my hand to other people who may not have a platform, but they want to be able to put it out on a reliable, viable platform where people can actually come and say, I can expect quality content from this network, right? Just like any other network, just like if you go look at BET Plus, BET Women, you're going to see all Tyler Perry shows, kinfolk. So I want to be a little more vast than that, but I absolutely want to make this a home for people who desire to get quality content on a regular basis, like clockwork. That's the thing that they tell us, is that our minds are just all over the place and we're super shattered, and we got a 30-second attention span, 60-second attention span, and I think that's garbage. I think it's hogwash. I believe that whatever you actually want to watch and listen to, you're going to watch and listen to regardless of whatever they put in front of you or what they try to convince you to go check out shorts or reels or whatever. And so I believe that there is a level of complexity to who we are as human beings. And so with that being said, I'm not just one thing in life. I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a coworker, I'm a creative. You get what I'm saying? And most of you are as well. And so from this platform, I wanted to be able to expand. You can't just come over here and just get men versus women talk, which is super overrated at this point. It should be very much more collaborative than competitive. And so you shouldn't just come and just get sports or just get whatever. And so I want to create a hub where you can come and get multiple layers of content at one time that can actually bridge the gap to help people get a better understanding, at the same time be entertained, at the same time be educated, be informed, all of those good things. And so that's what the network is about. Hopefully at some point, people really want to become a collective, group economics, all of those things that we talk about in the Black community that we sometimes don't work towards. I want to be able to do that here. And it's not necessarily gotta just be black people. But I'm saying if y'all really want to come together and put some dope content out and let's bust this money down and let's grow together and let's do whatever, then let's do it. The algorithms are gonna move as we move because we set the stage. So you're not gonna make me do one thing. Sorry, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. There has to be a forerunner. There has to be somebody who says that ain't the way that God made me, fam. And I'm not just gonna do one thing. Now, the one thing that I probably do well is communicate, specifically in the media space. And so if you're looking for one thing, no matter what I put out, whether it's sports, education, entertainment, spirituality, whatever, is going to be articulated and communicated in a way that you can understand and digest. And so that's the way that I look at that. So we go from there into the shows. So what can you expect from the Mind of a Man Network consistently? I'm glad you asked, Kinfolk. So first we got Cultivating Conversations. Cultivating Conversations, where we curate cultivating conversations for the culture. It's really that simple. I want to be able to sit across from dope people, and I want to be able to use the dialogue itself to pull out all the things that we need to know about that person, about what their mission is, about what their business is, because I believe that if you can buy into a person, you can buy into their business. If you buy into a person, you can buy into what their frame of thinking, even if there's a level of disconnect or disagreement in what you may be hearing or listening to on a regular basis. And so Cultivating Conversations, that's one of the shows that you could expect on this platform, the Mind of a Man Network, where we curate cultivating conversations for the culture. Is really that simple. I want to talk to anybody, and I believe that there are a lot of dope people on earth, period. I don't think they all have to have 10,000, 10 million followers and have $100 million in the bank. I believe that there's the everyday person that walks around, and it doesn't mean that I don't want those people either. But what I am saying is I want to be able to pull in the everyday person and find out what's interesting about them, because there is something truly interesting about every person that is walking this earth. So I take the task of not doing all of this super research, but take your old school and sit in front of a person, look them in their eyes, ask them questions, poke and prod a little bit, because you got to ask the tough questions and get what makes them, what makes them interesting out of them. So that's what Cultivating Conversations is as a show, as a platform. And so that is show one that you can get from the network. Number two, the Mind of a Man podcast. It is a holistic peek inside of the mind of a man, mind, body, and soul. You understand me? And so we delve into all of those different things. It'll be talking head videos. It'll be, sometimes I'll bring people in to get their perspective on certain things as a man specifically. But the idea, once again, is I don't just want men to be able to look at other men. I want women to be able to look at the platform and say, okay, what makes a man tick? You know, what could I learn about how to communicate better with my man? You know, all of those things. You know, what are the signs that may be going on in a relationship based off of experience? You know, I've got experience in relationships. If I don't got nothing else, Kinfolk, I promise you that. And so with that being said, though, I don't want to just hoard the platform with the Mind of a Man just to talk from my perspective. I want to bring other people in. And to be honest, hopefully it can evolve into something where we can have a woman sit in and even ask certain questions while we are actually having a dialogue. These are things that I'm kind of spitballing on the fly, but I think it'll be something that'll be beneficial to the platform. So that is also another thing that you could expect from the Mind of a Man Network, is the Mind of a Man podcast, a holistic peek inside of the mind of a man, mind, body, and spirit. You feel me? Soul. I'm sorry, mind, body, soul. So the next one you could expect, you're going to get these sports, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get these sports. You hear me? So anyway, yeah, you're going to get these sports, man. The most unbiased, biased sports show you could ever experience. Because what we don't like, you're going to know it. And what we like, we're going to be a bit partial to, but you're still going to get the truth by and large. And so for those of you who may not know, if you're from around the world, we're in Texas. So it's everything Texas over here, you feel me? With the exception of a few sports, and let me lay out what they are. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish in college football, specifically college football. That was my first team growing up. That's just what it is. Texas is 1B, 1A. They interchangeable depending on how I feel about them for the week. All right. The other one is University of Kentucky Wildcats basketball. It is what it is, Ken folk. That was my first love in college basketball. Jamal Mashburn, you know what I'm saying? All them guys. I go back in the gap like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, other than that, I'm open to any sports talk. If you're somebody who is from a different place and you actually want to bring in different topics and stuff like that, I don't care what state, what city. If it's something interesting, I would love to talk about it. But you're gonna get these sports, bro. You feel me? And so that's the third thing that you could expect from this platform is you're gonna get these sports, bro. And so we're gonna talk Cowboys, but they ain't really giving me much to work with here these days. You feel me? Oh man, hold on. We gotta stop to show love to Bruce Glass in the building. Bruce Wayne Glass. Perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him from a plane. Yes, sir. Bruce, you never answered my question, and it's kind of offensive, dog. Because I'm just wondering why you won't tell me if you are a huge Batman fan or not. Maybe you answered and I missed it, but just let me know. Are you a huge are you a huge Batman fan? Tell me not. You feel me? So we got Cultivating Conversations. We got the Mind of a Man podcast, and we have You Gonna Get These Sports, bro. Those are 3 shows that you could expect like clockwork from this network. The 4th one, Church Flow. And so this one is really simple. I've been in church my whole life. That is the caveat. You are never typically going to see me on any platform, any show, and not make reference to God. He is the center and foundation of my life. It's just what that is. And if that's a problem for you, have a conversation with him and you might feel a little different. But Church Flow is simply this. I grew up in church my whole life. And I don't agree with everything that is done in church, that is talked about in church. But I also don't believe that you just get to take the negative route because you went to church up until you were 10 or 12 or 14, and then now you don't want to go to church no more. That's not what we're doing over here. So it's fine, but Church Flow is saying, hey, I'm a believer just like you're a believer, but I got some discrepancies. Let's sit down and talk about it. Let's rap-a-taste. That's what Church Flow is essentially about. I'm holding the church accountable for what they do or don't do correctly. And if it's something that hits the news, then we want to be the place where you come to get that breaking news, to get that perspective that is not super biased to the church or super biased to the people that sit in the pews. You understand? We want to be Switzerland and say these are the facts. Our bias is to the Bible. Our bias is to God, not to the people, not to the pastor. So that's what Church Flow is. And so the last show, and I'm going to recap for those of you who just hopped in. Thank you if you're tuning in for any reason. I appreciate you. Please hit the like and please comment. Let me know who you are. Speak when you're coming to my house. The last one, Ladybug, that's my auntie. Good evening there, Fru. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the auntie. Make sure you hit the like, auntie. Don't be asking how you hit the like either. You figure it out. You hit the like and you subscribe. I love you much. Thank you for stopping by. But the last show is the Late Night Shift Live. And, man, that is just like any late night show that you could think of. We talk about all types of things, current events, music, whatever. And so that is essentially what that show is about. And so I want to always give you my humor, my perspective, my sense of what I'm getting from the culture. We talk about things that are very much immersed in the culture, that is religion, that is music, that is education, whatever it is. There's no topic that we typically don't want to deal with. I'm not a politic guy, but I'll talk politics. You know, we can get into whatever on the late night shift. And so let me recap. Batman fan, yes. Okay, so tell me what your favorite show is. What's your favorite Batman? So we getting somewhere now, Bruce. All right, so let me recap once again because I actually got some topics that I want to get into. There's some topics that I want to get into, and I think they're going to be a little juicy, so stick with me, ride with your boy, hit the like, sit back, and just relax. Tell me what y'all think, man. I added a little light to the background for the crib, you know what I'm saying? I'm not continuing to do this at the house. I love going to my studio. But Bruce Wayne Glass said Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. That's why you my guy, because those are two of the best ones to ever be done. The Joker and Bane were clearly two of the best villains ever done by two of the best characters. You feel me? So, all right, dog, you answered some questions that I needed some answers to. And so let me recap once again, and then we'll get into some of these topics, some of the things that was kind of sitting on top of my corazon. You feel me? Hey, baby, I always hit the like button. That's the auntie. Love you much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Now, make sure you share it with 3 people. If you on here right now and you are watching, please, please, please subscribe, hit the like, and share it with 3 people, and then come back and put done in the comments. You know what I'm saying? So they can know that there's an alternative on the internet that they can watch. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna go over these 5 shows once again, so you know what you can expect from the Mind of a Man Network. And if you're wondering what the network is about, go back up to the top of the video. I explained it in detail, and then come on back so we can see what we're doing. Oh, come on now, Reese. She the one. You know what I'm saying? She the one out the 2. All right, done. All right. So really quickly, Cultivating Conversations is the first show that I'll bring up in no particular order. Cultivating Conversations, where we curate cultivating conversations for the culture. It's simply an interview platform where I want to sit down with the dopest people that I know and you know and ask them questions. Some tough, some fun, but I want to find out what makes them who they are, what makes them interesting, and tell the world about it. That's Cultivating Conversations. Number 2, we have the Mind of a Man podcast, a holistic peek. I give you a holistic peek inside of the mind of a man, mind, body, and soul. So we can go anywhere on that platform, and I can't wait till we start integrating other people into it, because I think that there are some people that can truly add value to that space of manhood and all the things that it encompasses. And it's really that simple. It is a way for us to communicate with the opposite sex in a better way, and for them to get a peek inside to know how we move, how we can operate better together, because this is a collective effort, period. Share with people always. My guy, Bruce. Man, I got my faithful few, dog, and I ain't gonna lie. Y'all be blessing my corazon, you feel me? Y'all be blessing my corazon, you know what I'm saying? Done. Ooh, come on, auntie. Share that thing in. Share that thing in. You feel me? All right. I'm sorry, y'all. Get a little sip. That's cranberry juice. Then we got, you gonna get these sports, bro. You're gonna get these sports, bro. We talk all sports, anything that's popping at the moment. We also want to delve specifically into the Texas sports. But if you got something about your team you want to talk about, email me at IamAnthonyMoore. What is it? IamAnthonyMooreInfo@gmail.com. I want to make sure I give it to you properly. IamAnthonyMooreInfo@gmail.com. Yes, I do need a business email, but we'll get there. IamAnthonyMooreInfo@gmail.com. I'll see you laughing. You feel me? So anyway, and what's the next show? Church Flow. So Church Flow is simple. Hey, I've been a believer my entire life. I love the Lord. He blessed he heard my cry. You feel me? But at the same time, some of y'all ain't right. Some of your churches ain't right. Some of you people ain't right. And so I never stand on the side of any one particular entity. It's like, listen, I'm with God. Hopefully he with me. And this is what the Bible say about it. I don't care what you say, Pastor, and I don't care what you think, congregation, because most of y'all ain't reading your Bible for yourself, and most of y'all still doing everything that y'all looking down on people on the internet for doing. But, that's a whole nother situation. When we get into the topics, we'll delve a little deeper. You feel me? And then the last one is the Late Night Shift Live. You feel me? That is all things culture, popular culture, hot topics, everything that's going on in the news arena, in the music arena, in the entertainment arena. We want to talk about it on this network. And so those are the shows that we got. And I would love to fill it up with much more. I want this to be a place where people can come and get their fix, whatever that is. But we want to put out quality content, and we want to put out stuff that is good for the family. We want to put out something that's real, but we also want to put out something that's good for the family. You feel me? And so with that being said, now let me get into some of these topics. And so let me give you my thought process on some of the things that we're talking about, because a lot of them are centered around, they have a Christocentric standpoint. And so the first thing is, so I was watching the Grits and Egg podcast, and I don't have any problem with the Grits and Egg podcast. I think it's a phenomenal podcast. Deontay Kyle actually inspires me a lot to see where he started, to see his rise, and to see his sustainability for what he brings to the culture, right? He had Chance the Rapper on there. Chance the Rapper professes to be a believer. Deontay Kyle professes not to be a believer. He said that he came up a certain way in the church, but then he doesn't affiliate with any particular belief system, so to speak. He just stand on who he is, right? All fine and dandy, no problem with it. But what I don't like, respectfully, my brother, is people who take the standpoint of talking about leaving the church and their reasons as if now you understand the plight of what it means to be a believer in the church, to deal with the discrepancies, the misalignments, the things that don't sit right. You know, the fact that Paul tells us multiple times to bear with one another in love, those type of disagreements that people may have inside of the body, right? And it doesn't mean that you don't have a real gripe, but this is the reality. There are tons of people that understand, because they are mature in the faith. They actually accepted Christ. They actually live a life that is dedicated to the Lord, not perfect, but just dedicated to the Lord, that they understand that leaving a church doesn't really help anybody. It doesn't hold leaders accountable that may be doing wrong. It doesn't help you for holding Sister Paulette accountable, who was talking your business. You never dealt with it. You just racked it up the church hurt and you left. You said my time is up and didn't want to deal with the elephant in the room. There were allegations that came out, or you knew that the pastor was sleeping with somebody or something like that. And instead of there being some level of accountability, you just left. You didn't like the fact that people shunned you in the church. And the reality is, these people are super flawed. Nobody wants to talk about the reality that nobody's perfect. Nobody. And what the church gets wrong 1,000% of the time is, how you doing? Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. Oh, the Lord is good. All the time and all the time. And it's like, that's corny, it's cheesy, it's cheap, it's not what we need. And nobody's having real conversations. And so people that you could reach on a platform like this, where we're going to keep it real, we're going to keep it a buck 1,000% of the time. We're going to do things in good taste. We're going to be honest. We're going to be transparent, but we're not going to be salacious. And that's the thing that we're missing. There still is very much a gossipy, negative Nancy spirit that floats around in most churches in America. There's still a very pretentious spirit that floats around in most of the churches in America. And we have to be the ones to say, we're not going to do it anymore, and we're not going to put up with people who want to do that. You talking all this noise about sister so-and-so and pastor who and who's and who, but you don't serve anywhere. So what are you actually even talking about? Like, nobody cares what you think. And that's the thing that I want people to get. Appreciate you, Auntie. But this is the thing that I want people to understand. Your standpoint, what happened to you, is real. What you dealt with as a young boy or a young girl, when the pastor felt you up, or when the people didn't help you, when you were stuck on the side of the road, when your car was messed up and you called the church and they didn't help you, or when they lied on you, it's real. But to tuck your tail and run and then say that's what's wrong with them church people, we can't accept it. Because I promise you this, if you've been in church long enough, I don't care how great the church, you've experienced some level of this. You done been through a divorce and people turn their back on you. You done been in church and people lied on you. You didn't ask for some help and didn't get no help. Stop playing with me. There's real things that people deal with, and we should absolutely talk about them. Not mad at all. But you can't run. And now you just live in whatever lifestyle you want to live, and now we're supposed to be the reason why. No, you're pulled away by your own evil, selfish desires. No man is tempted by God. It's you. You wanted to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Admit that you were hurt by a person, not four walls. not a whole entire body. They didn't say crucify you. They said that to Jesus. So stop acting like we're the reason. So you sit on a platform and empathize with a person who said, this is the issue that I take, but my allegiance is still with the Lord. I just don't want to hear that anymore. Y'all can't keep telling us what's wrong with the church and you're not in the church. If you want to actively build something, if you want to actively be a part of the what makes the church look right, Darius Daniels talks about a unique discontent for something, meaning that you take issue with something uniquely, it pokes at you a little more than other things. So what we need to take from that is that when something like that happens, that means you're the person to do something about it. Not leave, not tuck your tail, not say, oh, I'm looking for new churches now because you're upset at what somebody said or did. If you don't at least do your part to speak the truth in love, then what are we doing? If you don't hold the people accountable, they may never have somebody that is able to hold them accountable. But we got to stop just wanting to point the finger and then walk off to do whatever our favorite sin is. What's your point? People are going to come on, they're going to leave because they don't want to hear the truth, and I'm okay with that. There's more things for us to get into, but I got to be the one to call a spade a spade. I'm not perfect. I'm not. I promise you, kinfolk. But I'm not going to say that, oh, I don't have any affiliation to God no more because what people did. That doesn't indicate to me that you had a real relationship with God in the first place. I know that these people are doing a bad job of representing the God that they say they serve. That's maturity. But I digress. The next thing. Being a Christian, being a man, being a human, they're all encompassing. They all coincide together. But can somebody do me a favor and tell your favorite person that just because, and please hear my heart on this, you're a rapper. 13 of your 14 songs is dedicated to murder, 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 kill, kill is real. I'm going to bust you in your head when I see you. Kinfolk is on site. I'm taking these females, there's 3 of them to a room. I'm busting them down one at a time. Bow, 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 bow. No condoms. We busting in. And then that last song, never would have made it. What are we talking about here? Stop. We got to stop being believers bragging about sin. That's the issue that I take. I understand you're going to have it. I understand you're going to deal with it. I understand that the flesh is going to be something we battle with until he comes. I understand that. I understand that Paul said, what I want to do, I don't do. The things I don't want to do, I do all the more. What is he saying? Bam. Right. I didn't want to go over there. I didn't want to pick that up. I didn't want to say that, but it came out. I understand, but we got to be real about where we are at. Stop sitting on platforms talking about how good God is and then glorifying the thing that you love to do the most. That is not a real indication of saying, hey, this is how I bleed sometimes. This is the thing that catches me up. This is all still stuff that I'm talking about that I saw on this platform today. Great interview, 2 hours of straight heat. I love it. Thank you once again to Deontay Cal, who puts out dope content, and Chance the Rapper for being real. But we got to start having realer conversations about what it is that we're actually talking about on these platforms. Because I think that there was a connection and a bond that they built that I love. Please hear me out here. I'm not talking negative on neither one of those men. I'm saying we got to start having more leeway, if you do profess to be a believer, about what it is that we actually say on this platform, because we got babies who watch. Randy C. Mays in the building, dog. That's my partner, my guy. He said, that'll make them gospel artists of the year like Big Glow. Yeah, Glow. Cubans on Cubans, I gotta see them through. Yeah, Glow. So, yeah, see, that's the thing. Once again, Big Glow, she had a song full of I slide up on it, slide back down on it, take it, I spit on it, then I do the gawk, and all that. And then it's like the last song is Maverick City. And for them, for Maverick City, in their mind, it's ministry. And it may be, I'm not knocking nothing about their process. But what I am saying is there's no way in the world that Glorilla should ever win best whatever of the year, ever. She just shouldn't. So that means that we got a bad representation of what's going on in the gospel industry because nobody's putting out quality music. And then these people got to stop being able to come over to our platforms and pillage when I don't know what they may be doing in their personal time. Maybe God is actually tugging on our heart. But all I'm saying is you'll know a tree by its fruit. And so if 99% of what we see from you is butt out, cheeks clapping, nipples, we ain't got to talk about it, kinfolk, but stop acting like it's something that is not. And that's my only point. And I hope that the mature people can hear that this is a call to say, hey, that ain't a real representation of what we should be doing. There's a difference between what I believe Kirk Franklin is doing at times, because I think Kirk get a bad rap sometimes, because I do believe that he does a good job of displaying a certain representation for the body that says, listen, I'm a human, I bleed just like you. Now there's another aspect of this that I haven't got to yet that we will talk about, where I think we could do better as a body for sure, because it also speaks to what I saw in that interview as well. Thank you for anybody who's tuning in to the Mind of a Man Network. If you're looking at the introduction, man, for whatever the reason that you're over here, if somebody brought you over here, they thought it would be some content that you would enjoy, please hit the like for me. And if anything about what I'm saying is enjoyable, if you like anything about anything on here, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we're trying to get to 4,000 views, you feel me? Because we're trying to all the way monetizing that thing, you feel me? And I'm trying to get a bunch of people who love to talk about this type of content. So anyway, the next thing, marriage should still be something that's cool and desirable. As believers, and this one is a little bit more church flow eccentric in the content, but it just is what it is. Watching that interview today, it gave me so much perspective. Marriage should still be something that is cool and desirable in the body. Period. How many times can you get your baby mama pregnant, kinfolk, before you decide that you're going to be with her? We're not talking about like, you know, them one and done type situation. We talking about you're in a relationship with the girl. This your third baby. When you gonna marry her? Y'all been together for 10 years. Like, what are we talking about here? But you still think that the mothership is coming and it's gonna be a bunch of freaks, that the freak need coming back and you gonna have your way. Man, if you don't stop playing with me, boy, that woman love you, dog, because she actually staying there. Now, it don't help that you gave her 2-3 kids. Now, that make her a little harder in the dating pool now. But that's a whole other situation, kinfolk. That's neither here nor there. But the point is, what are we doing, though? Like, why is this a thing that it's like we get the birthday post, we get all this stuff about how good God is, bless his name, you know, we thank you for the man that you made me to be, and you steady pumping them babies out. Ain't no ring on that girl hand. Now, I've taken a different approach. I might have, you know, been ready to pump them babies out. Then I might have slid a ring on there. I ain't saying I'm no better, kinfolk. I'm just saying let's have a conversation. Let's be real. If you don't want her, baby, if you don't want her, then don't talk to her. Go ahead and free yourself. That's a private fantasia, kinfolk. I'm like, man, I think that we. Hold on, kinfolk. Hold on, kinfolk. Glad I only got one kid. Laugh out loud. Okay. There's still hope for me. Oh, you such a cap artist, dog. Shout out to Reese, dog. She a cap artist. But yeah, all I'm saying is what we could do a better job of as men of the cloth. You feel me? Men of the high guys, lie guys. We high guys, lie guys, warriors. Let's start having something that we stand for. And all I'm saying is, if you know sin, if you know your favorite sin, kinfolk, and please hear me out. I'm not saying to be devoid of self-control, right? But if your eye causes you to sin, gouge it out, right? If your hand causes you to sin, cut it off, kinfolk. If your balls can't stay in your drawers, Marry that girl, dog. Or be on an active pursuit to find something that you like about a woman besides her spreading her legs. Marriage has to be cool and desirable again within the body. Thank God that I'm actually starting to see people around me, people that I do life with, that actually are showing how dope marriage could actually be. But here's the thing. In the old days, marriage wasn't for the broke. That's the first thing. Marriage wasn't for the broke folks. Here's the other thing. Marriage isn't for the immature. So go over there and sit on that couch and talk to them folks before you say yes, because you just got to have a ring before you turn 30. And here's a noble idea. Go sit down with God yourself before you start saying, sis, what I got to do to get the ring? It's like, I don't even have words for that type of stuff. And I don't mean that there's nothing wrong with asking questions, right? Because some people need a little nudge. Some people really need some assistance, and there's nothing wrong with giving them that assistance. But don't put a premium on something that you can't sustain. You don't even like getting up brushing your teeth every day, let alone going to make that man breakfast. You don't want to get up and hit your knees, thank the Lord, before you got to go put that makeup on in the morning before you wake up. So there's just more to it. And I'm not, and ladies, respectfully, this ain't just kinfolk. Go save you some money, go make some money, and go save it. And you also go sit down on that couch. And you also go have those tough conversations. Relationships, they don't believe in having tough conversations anymore. We got to start being willing to have very, very tough conversations. Because if we don't do it on the front end, we're going to be doing it when we talk about how we're going to split these resources up. When you're forced to pick assets and your kids and how you're going to spend time with them. And trust me, it's not for the weak. And you don't want to do it. Trust me, you don't want to do it. So do the work on the front end. Please. But just stop smashing your baby mama till you're blue in the face and then you don't want her no more. Now mind you, I'm saying baby mama because y'all be in relationships with these girls. That's what be crazy to me. This ain't just like, now they say, and I don't personally know this to be true, but they say the men, still be sleeping with them baby mamas a majority of the time. Like 90-some odd % of the time, they still be sleeping with them women. Now, I don't know that to be true. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to say about it. But all I am saying is, we got to start, men are decisive. We make decisions. We do hard things. So do the due diligence. That's all I'm saying. Respectfully. I love you. I love you deeply. I love you real big, kinfolk. Language. This is the last thing. Language. Now, I've sat on this platform and I've said several times, and I done kept it a stack million, which I done kept it a bean, I done kept it a thou wow, I done kept it a honey bun. You feel me? Well, I say over 2 years ago, when I first started going through my process, it was certain words that didn't make sense until a cuss word followed them or led them. And that's just where I was at. Now, I don't believe that way anymore. But it don't make it no easier not to say some of them cuss words sometimes. But what I don't believe is that we should sit on these platforms all day long, all day strong, kinfolk, and we just throwing out S-bombs, F-bombs, MNFs, all of that stuff. I'm like, fam, we gotta start. There's gotta be a dividing line between what we display, and it may be something that you do in your private time, or it might be something that you struggle with. But I'm just saying, we got to stop doing it on these platforms like it's cool. She said, my auntie said, I'm done. If your balls can't stay in your drawers, I was married to your Unc Vernon for 19 years. Yeah, you gotta keep the balls in your drawers, Kimbo. Now there was a song, what was it, OBG balls in your jaws. That's a whole other situation, Kimbo. I digress on that. Heck, if it says it still ain't for the broke, cost you a 60 ball. It costs 100 ball. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that boy D-Lo. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my boy Randy say it still ain't for the broke, Kimbo. It costs you a 60 ball. You know what I'm saying? Stupid. But yeah, man, let's just be more mindful of the language that we display as men, as believers, on platforms, around women, around children. That should matter to us. That's the one thing that I'll say, man. Shout out to my boy C Mays in the building, man. Pray, chop, and chill. He talked about this man who changed his life radically. He was a rapper, and he was brutally gunned down in Seattle, man. And hopefully there's justice served in that arena. But he changed his life, and he wasn't gonna. He said he was taking all his music down off DSPs. He was moving in a different way, and my hope is that we start to have this radical thinking where we want to show up in a way that we haven't shown up in a while. You know, what the pastor said, that's what I was trying to remember. The pastor said there was a time where there was a code where you didn't touch people when they were going to church. And you know, there was just a certain thing that was kept holy and sacred in a way, even for the worst thugs. When mothers went by, you would hide your alcohol and you would hide your weed and all of those things. There needs to be shame that's brought back for you thugs and people who don't want to, like, come on, bro. Like, you didn't have to be raised by grandma to know that it wasn't okay to cuss around women and talk crazy around women and around kids and be horrible examples. So I ain't here to beat on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't here to fake and front and be flawed. You know what I'm saying? But I am here to call people to the carpet because that is something that matters, and we should do a better job, right? And so, for those of you who may be wondering, that is what a typical church flow episode could look like, right? I didn't mean for it to be so church heavy or God heavy or believer heavy, but this is what was necessary based off of that interview that I saw. And I just believe that we got to do a better job of executing as men, as believers, as people who just are trying to figure it out. Do dope things, but have some tact to what you do. So anyway, my camera about to die. We are at 40-something minutes. Please do me a favor. If you're new on here, please hit the like button. That's all I ask, folks. It's free to hit the like. You know what I'm saying? We spread the word to people who may not know about the platform. If it ain't for you, even though you've been on here watching me, it may be for somebody else. Thank you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button, kinfolk. Don't do me like that, kinfolk. Come in my house, you got to speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Say hey one time. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all people will leave because they don't want to speak, and that's fine. Get out of my house. Nah, I'm just playing. I love y'all. But anyway, man, we about done, kinfolk. All hearts and minds clear. You know, for those of you who may be new and you didn't know what the introduction was about, we talked about what this platform is not. Okay, we are not he-man woman haters, kinfolk. I ain't sit down and write a poem and said, "Dear Darla, you make me puke. You're the scum between my toes." You know what I'm saying? That ain't the platform that this is. Hold on. My auntie, Ladybug49, said, "Yeah, there was great respect, but not anymore. And you are not being churchy, nephew. Speak what God told you to speak." For sure. For shiggity show. And I appreciate that. And here's the thing. I can't deny even having a level of churchiness to me because I've been in the church my entire life. So it is very much embedded in who I am as a man. So I'm not even tripping on that. But once again, this platform is not about hating women or being negative. Don't let the Mind of a Man network confuse you. Actually, the simpler thing was nobody had network. I think I had the Mind of a Man podcast at first, but nobody had network. So when you put in the Mind of a Man network, it actually pulls me up first. So, hey, kinfolk, it's easy. That's easy SEO for me. And so, you know, I just want to give you guys a vast array of entertainment, education, and conversation that can help spark us be better men, husbands, fathers, brothers, sisters, cousins, me, you, your mom, and your cousin too, rolling down the strip on Vogue, coming no smoke cat like dope, kinfolk. But I ain't smoking no cat like dope. I ain't no smoke weed in my life. It is what it is. But yeah, man, this is the network. And so I look to put other dope people and shows on the platform as I grow and evolve. But it all starts with me putting out dope content on my own. And so I appreciate everybody who's been tuning in thus far. I'm gonna ask y'all until I'm blue in the face. Make sure you hit the like, kinfolk. The like it expands the exposure, kinfolk. And all I want to do is keep putting out dope content for the masses. You feel me? So with that being said, if all hearts and minds are clear, we are right up under an hour here. I will be getting you guys some more content possibly this week, maybe towards the end of the week. I have a Mind of a Man episode that I need to drop. Once again, the Mind of a Man podcast. It's a holistic peek inside of the mind of a man, mind, body, and soul. And so, man, I got some things that I be just kind of getting off the chest a little bit and just kind of giving some perspective, man. And I look forward to you guys chiming in and telling me what you think about it. I got to get it edited. At this point in my life, I don't want to edit another video if I can help it. And so I got to get it sent over to the people that do what they do. Do you feel me? So anyway, I love you. May the Lord keep you. I'll see you next week, or I'll see you at the conference, or I'll see you at the next show. Make sure you subscribe. Y'all so doggone hard. Y'all so doggone hard-headed. What Bruce sitting up here telling y'all? Like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And let me once again show love to my people who always show up and show out. Bruce Wayne Glass in the building. Shonda Reese in the building. Randy C. Mays in the building. My auntie, my name ain't Shanna K, you feel me? But Ladybug 49, y'all always coming through and showing love, you know what I'm saying? And with people like y'all, I believe that this platform will always be able to reach who it needs to reach and be able to grow and expound. And so, man, first of all, one last thing. What y'all think about this little, you know what I'm saying? I add a little light to the background. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think, dog? Let me sip some more of my cranberry juice. Great epi. Thank you, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, make sure you share it with 3 people, kinfolk, and then put done in the chat. I'm trying to get y'all to, you know what I'm saying, interact with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Do it and put 1 in the chat. Like that. But thank you, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, do y'all know, but honestly, I mean, episode is, you know, over as far as what I want to do. Is there something that y'all want to talk about? Let me know that. A little more burgundy and a little touch of gold. And a touch of gold. No way, no how. You know what I'm saying? I did this for the red. You already know, nephew. I like the light. Keep it. For sure. Randy was telling me, he's like, man, the setup kind of dope, man. You just got to, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, I want to go to the studio, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I do. I ain't gonna lie, I love the studio. You know what I'm saying? A lot of work been put into the studio. But like I said, man, episode is, we just on here chopping at this point. We ain't pray chopping chilling, but we chopping. You feel me? So y'all also, man, make sure y'all go check out Randy C. Mays, man. Literally type in Randy C. Mays. He got some dope content on there. He put out dope vlogs. He put out Pray Chop and Chills, man, where he give you a dope perspective, uses something to kind of springboard what the Lord's been downloading into his heart, you know, from the week or from something that he saw. So y'all make sure y'all also check that out, man. We don't do no hating over here. We show all the love to the people that's around us. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you go check out Randy C. Mays' platform as well. Do y'all got anything that y'all want to talk about, dog? Because I'm on here rambling at this point. I'm still some more of my cranberry juice. Bruce, you got anything? So this is my question to you, Bruce. What have you heard about? So Terry McLaurin, he showed up, right? He actually showed up to practice. Is that true? Or is he actually is he still requesting the trade because they don't want to pay him? And what do you think about that? If y'all don't, you know what I'm saying, if y'all don't want to talk about it, y'all can get off here, kinfolk. It's all love, kinfolk. Y'all just make sure y'all do y'all part to share. We just on here chopping up with the fight few, you feel me? Oh, also, what do y'all think about music reviews? How would y'all feel if I did music reviews? Because I got a lot of, I ain't gonna lie. I be tapping in with that music, kinfolk. Shocker of the day, not so much of a shocker. Giveon is an absolutely phenomenal artist. And for years, I couldn't stand that Kermit the Frog voice. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Pause. But yeah, now say that boy be in rotation while I be on the game, dog. I ain't gonna hold you. Man, y'all ain't talking about that, dog. I would give, hey, look, last call for alcohol. Man, that's my granny used to say. Last call for alcohol. She used to say everything with an attitude, too, folks. Let me tell you something. My granny was a rock of Gibraltar, like I said, but she was a fool with it, folks. Yeah, well, no problems with her. Yeah, that's real talk. You don't want zero problems, big fella. All right. Say, folks, y'all so rude. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me. Talk to me, I talk back. Like that. That's a good cranberry juice, folks. At this point, I'm just wondering if y'all ain't gonna say that, how y'all gonna sit over here? Y'all just gonna sit on the street? Because I'll sit over there with you, folks. I'm actually making great time. I don't gotta be to bed yet, bub. She said, "Well, what you got, folks? Talk, Reese. Talk." Oh, but then here's another thing. What are your suggestions on episodes? Are there anything in particular for anything? Like my platform is actually so vast that you can really suggest anything and there'll be something to talk about. So what do y'all think as far as upcoming episodes, topics about anything, something that is near and dear to you? Well, here she go, chiming in by Granny. Sure did. She sure did say anything with an attitude and would back it up. Yeah, I often tell this story. So I was 14, right? And my granny sent me to go wash and dry the clothes, because she was getting to that point where she wasn't gonna be able to move around like talking about. So I called myself having a little girlfriend at the time, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm like working up the nerve to go get this kiss. And I'm like, I'm not going home until I do it, right? I'm like, I'm standing on business. You feel me? Like, this gonna happen. So I'm literally meandering around, folks. It's like it don't take but you talking about washing clothes, maybe 20-some minutes, drying clothes, maybe 30-some minutes, right? I might be stretching, so hour tops. It took me 2 hours. It took me 2 hours. Auntie said, yes, do some music episodes. Bet that. But yeah, it took me 2 hours to wash and dry these clothes, folks. And finally, I mess around and probably already took the clothes to the house. I'm just like, oh, I forgot something. And get this kiss, folks. I walk around to the house. I feel accomplished. But as I'm getting closer to this door, I'm feeling the anxiousness of, you done it now, folks. You must don't know who you're dealing with. Grandma like a pit bull. You know what I'm saying? Like 5 foot nothing, but just full of anxiety, that she fills your heart with. You know what I'm saying? So I go around here, dog. She done locked the door. So if she locked the door, that means I got to knock. You feel me? She know what's up, though. Man, bruh, I knock on the door. She opened the door. She leans in the door like looking, like, you know what I'm saying? Looking at me like, yeah, nigga, you got to come on with it. Bro, I'm going to be honest. I don't remember what she said. I was so terrified. Like, what is it about black women, them older black women, them old school black women that made them so terrifying? Like, she was so terrifying, and she was like 100 and some pounds, 5 foot nothing. But she was scary, bro. Like, in a real way, Brodusky. You know what I'm saying? So I come in the house. I'm like scared she gonna swing off on me, because she was known to swing off. Now, to add context, my grandmother, she had a lot of health problems. Now, in my mind, a lot of those health problems came from a lifelong, what am I trying to say? Pull one out. Hey, folks, hey, let me tell you something about him, I think. He disrespectful. He talking about pulling out for my granny, dog. He talking about pulling out for my granny. He's so disrespectful, Auntie. You have the right to curse him, not curse, but cuss him out. Yeah, cuss him out, because he be talking crazy. That's my guy, though. He's stupid. Go over there, forgot the granny go always live in infamy. You feel me? But nah, so granny, I come in, right? I come in the house. I'm scared she gonna swing off, because she known for swinging off. She had a lot of health issues. And so she had surgery and she had two of her hands because she's a diabetic. And so they had to cut off two of those appendages. Oh crap. I'm trying to see what the right camera angle is. Sorry y'all. Hold on. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Nope, that ain't gonna work either. Hold on, I'm sorry y'all. I lost my camera died, so now I gotta figure out the right angle for this. All right, there we go. We're gonna finish up now because the stream done got scary bad. And but anyway, so let me finish telling you this story and then we'll get off of here. So yeah, so I go in the house and she leaning on the doorpost and she like, what did I tell you to do? You supposed to go around there and wash them clothes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. So like I said, my granny, they cut two of them fingers off. You know what I'm saying? Because that sugar was bad. So they cut two of them fingers off. Now I ain't making fun of my granny. I'm just telling you the truth of what happened, kid. They cut two of them fingers off. It was that pinky and that ring finger. We know. Hold on, what my auntie say? We know what to say to make your balls draw up. That's okay. We ain't get in here. But yeah, so they cut them two fingers off, kid, folks. So she ain't got them no more on that strong hand. So, man, she pushed me against the wall with that hand. And I'm not making this up, y'all. I promise you. Now, at this point, I ain't grew much. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, I ain't grew much in life. You know, I probably got a few more inches taller over the next 7 years. You know what I'm saying? So she pushed me against the wall and she literally starts like lifting me up. Like she was letting me know she meant business. And so I felt my feet kind of coming up off the ground. And my eyes got big, bro. I'm like, first of all, where did you find this strength from? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on? And she threatened me in a number of ways. And I went to the room with my tail tucked between my legs because, number one, there's nothing that I could do about it. I was more terrified than anything, but I felt justified because I got my kiss. You understand? And so the point is, you don't mess with black women, especially when they get older. They don't care. They just will inflict injury and pain on you. You understand? It's just whatever. Hey, what that boy Claude say? Or was it Ray? Whichever one of he said, whatever I got to do to make a nigga stop existing. You know what I'm saying? I cut a nigga with this spoon if it was sharp enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what black women be on. And so, shout out to all the aggressive, dangerous mamas that use brutal force to make them kids chill out. You know what I'm saying? I am the oldest of 3 siblings. And I probably got the least whoopings, the least of everything because I was too scared. Me and my boy was just talking about this. I was scary as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want whoopings. Whoopings hurt. So what is worth a whooping for me? It had to be something related around a girl if I was going to get a whooping, to be honest, or if I was going to get beat. But then again, I was already bigger than my grandma by the time I was like 13. So she was going to swing off. She was going to slap you, dope pop you, hit you in the top of the head. Because Randy, she knew back then that if you hit him in the top of the head, you can't see the bruises. You feel me? You got to shave my head to see the bruises, and then by then, I'd probably be then healed up. So she knew that they wouldn't go call them CPS on them. You know what I'm saying? She would still slap people with that hand like it was nothing. Yeah, she was a small terror. That's real though, bruh. Granny was a problem, kinfolk. I ain't even gonna hold you, kinfolk. Like, Granny was really like that. Yeah, she was. Granny was different. All right, I got one more story. Can I tell y'all one more story? This is a story that make me look kind of stupid and slow. But can I tell y'all one more story, if you don't mind? And I apologize that this light is so bright. Matter of fact, hold on, y'all. All right, we're gonna cut that light down a little bit because Kimpo, I don't need to look like I got the glow. You know what I'm saying? Who's the baddest? Bruce Leroy. Abuser one-on-one, top of the head, kinfolk. Bop. You hit them right there, kinfolk. They don't see the bruising. You know what I'm saying? Abuser one-on-one. All right, dog. Let me tell you this last story, kinfolk. Let me tell you this last story. Please, if you're here, man, we just chopping. You know what I'm saying? I already broke down a bunch of stuff. Watch the episode from the beginning if you want to know the details of the details, kinfolk, about what this episode is actually about. But anyway, so my other auntie, right? I don't know what it was about them. So my one auntie, I'll say this. I don't know, Ancient K, I don't know if you actually got into many scuffles with Dorothy Louise Pye. You know what I'm saying? If you do, please, like, let me know. I'll tell the story myself on here. You know what I'm saying? But my aunties, I think my aunt Cat, she'll be in town this week. She a fool with it. I gotta go live with her on here because she a fool with it. But anyway, best cook I ever met in my life, by the way, outside of my grandmother. But anyway, yeah, you know, so my grandmother raised me. Shout out to Donkey. But so yeah, so I seen them getting into it one time, and my auntie packed her stuff up and she left. She said she wasn't coming back no more. But anyway, so in my granny's house was the hub, right? My granny's house was the hub for like misplaced families, you know what I'm saying? Like people that couldn't get their stuff together. Like we was the shelter, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying us included because we wasn't my grandmother's responsibility. She said, yeah, I lost every one of them. So here's the thing. Here's the other thing, auntie. Why is y'all fighting your parent? Like, I never, first of all, you know how my mama stepped. I was no way I would fight my mama. Even now, I mean, and I ain't never put my hands on a woman in my life, but I don't understand what makes women fight their parent. Like, it'd be strange to me. But anyway, so kinfolk, I'm about 7, 8 years old, right? My Aunt Gina stayed with us. My Aunt Shinna K stayed with us. My Aunt Lil Barbara, it sure was a shelter. No, yeah. So my Aunt Gina, my Aunt Shinna K, and my Aunt Tammy. No, not Tammy. What's Tammy mama name? I'm sorry. I'm Auntie. What's Tammy mama? Cause I cannot. Diane, Betty, Wanda. I'm sorry, I ain't Wanda Jean. And she was my favorite great auntie, by the way. I'm sorry, cause she used to make my little pancakes. She used to make me my own little special pancakes, kinfolk. And then she would also make me my own meatloaf that didn't have no bell peppers, no onions in them, because when I was young, I hated it. Right. So anyway, and then my aunt Shanna K, she's the dessert queen. You know what I'm saying? Cheesecakes, all that. That's what she used to do, kinfolk. So I'm just letting y'all know how the family get down. So anyway. So all these people stay with us, right? My Aunt Wanda Jean, my Aunt Shanna K, she's my great Aunt Wanda Jean, and my Aunt Shanna K, my Aunt Gina, my Aunt Shanna K, one and Aunt Cat, right? And so my granny was like spiteful. So what she'll do was she'll think like she bought something, she gonna go hide it, right? And so we was having tacos. Now, mind you, bro, she'll go buy like 4 like other big grab bag joints that can feed like 10 people for one bag. So she'll go buy like 4 of them. And for whatever the reason, her and my auntie got into it. My Aunt Gina got into it, bro. And bruh, she went to go looking for them chips. And my granny had thrown behind the couch, and she was like, nah, you good. Like, ain't no chips. Like, yo figure it out. You done told your draws. You know what I'm saying? She's on that type energy. Man, my auntie got a pair of balls on her. Her balls came out her draws, kinfolk. Bruh, they got to going at it. So my granny grabbed my auntie hair. My auntie grabbed my granny tit. And so my auntie couldn't do nothing with her, kinfolk. Let me just put this out there. She had to grab that tit because that was the only thing that was going to save her. That was the only thing that was going to stop her from really getting, coming off the hip with it, off the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? So my granny is bopping her in the head. No lie, bro. My granny got her hair and she's stealing off on her. My auntie got my granny tit got my shit in her hands, and she just trying to stop the pain. And so my granny is hit her, pop, pop, let go of my titty, bitch. Oh, she was a menace, bro. My granny was a menace. And she'll pop, pop, let go of my titty, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And my auntie, let go of my hair. Let go of my hair. Bro, and so I don't even know how they got broke up. But my granny got the best of that exchange by far, right? So the situation either started there or ended there. I can't remember which one it was, but the other situation, and they were together. It was like an overflow. My granny let my auntie borrow her vacuum. My granny let my granny let my auntie borrow her vacuum, and when she brought the vacuum back, it didn't work. So granny ain't playing that, dog. You broke my vacuum, and you gon' because we all stayed in the same apartment complex. They stayed in the back, we stayed in the front. And so you're going to have to reimburse me, or you're going to have to give me a new vacuum, but I ain't taking no loss. You feel me? Like, that's the type of time granny on. I ain't taking no loss. Never lost. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of time granny on. Man, my auntie brought that vacuum around there, kinfolk. She thought it was sweet. I swear my hand for Lord, kinfolk. My granny took off on my auntie, bro. I'm talking about this time, it wasn't no grabbing of the hair, it wasn't no grabbing of the tit, it wasn't no shielding yourself. She boop, 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 boop. Bro, she said, now this had to happen, this had to have been two separate occasions, because at this time, when I tell you what my auntie said and what I did, it's embarrassing. My granny getting them off. I'm talking about she wearing her out, bro. My auntie say Booger, because my nickname was Booger growing up, because when I was born, my mama say I shot out like one, right? So that's what it was. So growing up, they called me Booger, right? It don't offend me. It don't make me feel no type of way. I'm not 6 no more. So it is what it is, Randy. So if you still on here, you're not going to hurt my feelings if you try to play and call me that. But anyway, let me see what auntie said. She said WWE UFC. Yeah, it was her hands and feet being used for a Shiggity show. And she said she remembered that first fight. But yeah, my auntie say, call 911. Call 911, Booger, call 911. My auntie is getting hulled out to the point that she is prompting me to call the police because Granny is going to town. Here I go. Beep, whoop. Beep, boop, bop, boop. I didn't know the number to 911. Or maybe I was overcome with emotion that I didn't know I couldn't formulate 911. I was young, so that's what I'm saying. I think that first, these were separate situations. You know what I'm saying? Like times apart, but I literally didn't know the number to 911. That's how young I was. So I wasn't even smart enough at that time, and I'm gonna say smart enough to dial 911 so that the police could come get my granny off my auntie. I don't know why they tried her, but it just wasn't like that. And what's the other thing my auntie said? She said, I never fought. I just did something outside of the house and got DDT'd when I came home. Not DDT'd. Yeah, not DDT'd. Yeah, not the beat boot. Yeah, it's beat boot. I'm telling you, dog, that beat boot was a beep boop. Cause you know that was the touch tone, John. You know what I'm saying? Like had the cord, plug, hung it up, all that. That's the type of time we was on. You said that worked in your favor because Granny was gonna get you next. Nah, Granny wasn't gonna touch me. You know what I'm saying? Granny had, if I'm being honest, Granny had particular grace for me. I felt like, in respect to my brother and my sister, if I'm being honest, I think that my granny favored my younger sister because she was a girl. She was the only one. So she gave her preferential treatment, but I think I was like her favorite, if I'm being honest. Of the grandbabies, you know what I'm saying? I think I was probably her favorite of the ones that she like actually raised in the house. Cause my cousin Toya, she was crazy about my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Like to this day, you know what I'm saying? To this day, she was crazy about my grandmother. But yeah, man, I got plenty of stories. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got plenty of stories about my family and the stuff that was going on that was funny. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a time. Like that's the actually the dopest thing about having a big family is you can't help but have stories and stuff that happen. You know what I'm saying? And so I love it. I appreciate my family, man, for the times that we had. But if I'm being honest, to switch gears a little bit before I shut it down, I actually became very disjointed with my family around 15, 16, and I'll tell you why. I just remember going to a family outing, and so for people who didn't know, my granny was like the cook of the family too. Now my great granny could cook her butt off. The best okra gumbo I've ever had in my life. I've never had nothing like it since she got older and couldn't really cook it the same. But yeah, DDT, you heard me? That's hilarious. DDT is so funny. But I just remember being around my family and my aunties was talking about the other aunties and talking about their outfits and it was like, yeah, what's that, a rabbit? Cause that ain't no chinchilla. Like stuff that can be kind of funny, but it's like, why are we so negative and hateful? Like I ain't with that with the family. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta do a better job of actually sticking together. And I don't think my family did a good job of that at times. But when you had the super matriarchs of the family still around, my grandmother and my great grandmother, because the place to be was at Ruth Johnson's house. You feel me? The food to eat first was my grandmother's greens. Still to this day, best greens I've ever had in my life. Argue with your mama, I don't care. Like she would have us up picking bunches of greens, like 24 bunches of greens, and that was just to take to the function. And then we would pick another set of greens that was just for the house. The first thing that would get demolished at the function was the greens. Grandma wasn't no joke, bruh. Like she really was like that. You feel me? So I remember I was 15. Of course, it was a girl involved. If I ain't going to the function, it had to have something to do with that. I was like 16 or something. I'm like 15 or whatever. I'm like, hey, is it okay if I don't go to the function? And my granny was like, no, you don't gotta go. And I ain't go. And I spent the time with my gal. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what type of time I was on. But I stopped really coming around because I just didn't dig. I didn't dig what the family had going at that time. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, what we talking about 3-4 years later, my grandmother passes, and that was a blow to the family, for sure. That was a blow to the family because, man, y'all know how it is for anybody who may be watching, who may have lost somebody. If there's somebody who was like, you usually don't know who the pillar of the family is until they're gone. And so for me, I knew our granny was the pillar in our household. You know what I'm saying? That was mama. That was everything to us. She was the entertainment. She gonna get up and start dancing and doing little stuff, and you know what I'm saying. She'll call Mystical, Ludacris, and Nelly. She just was a funny person, man. And then when my grandmother had health problems, she started smoking. And I'm talking about Granny was buying QPs, folks. Go hold you. Granny was, look, hey, for my people who know drugs, how much weed is this in a bag? Like, if this was a weed bag, how much weed is, all right, I'm going to go a little skinny with it, right? Is that skinny and is that wide? How much weed is that? Because I don't know nothing about drugs, folks. I ain't never done them, never want to partake in them. But Granny would do drugs. She would smoke blunts, you understand? And then they told her she had to switch over to clean paper. You know what I'm saying? Zigzag. You don't got what they say, you don't got no zigzag, you don't get no drink drag. But so she was like always the cool lady, and then when Outkast came out with "I'm Sorry, Miss Jackson," you know, because her maiden name was Jackson or Pie, and then she married into Jackson. I don't know. I think my granny was like a bigot or something like that. I think she was married to multiple people, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, so she was just always the cool lady, right? And so the family just became disjointed after she passed. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then you talk about a number of years later, my great granny got sick and then she passes. And so now there's nobody that can represent the hub or the epicenter of the family where everybody can come together and have a good time and this is what we could expect. And you know, great granny was gonna cuss you out, kinfolk. You gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta get up out of the kitchen, you can't stand there too long. If you're young, you gotta get out the refrigerator, don't gotta make the food. Like it was that type of thing that I grew up on, that it was like my granny wasn't like yes ma'am or no ma'am until she was mad and she wanted you to use it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just learned a lot from growing up around very old people. And so that's what has molded me into who I am today. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. And so, yeah, man. Next time I'm gonna have some story times for sure, because it's fun and I enjoy it. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm looking forward to getting this next episode out to y'all. Thank y'all for just, you know what I'm saying, for just hanging and lingering with your boy, because this is super dope to me. This actually ain't even a bad setup, except this camera ain't the best coming out of the laptop. But anyway, I am gonna let y'all go, man, so y'all can enjoy the rest of y'all's evening. Y'all are near and dear to my heart. My auntie said yes, they were great cooks. They absolutely were. And then she's LaShonda. 4028 Avenue L. Yes, sir. So, question, Auntie, really quick. Do we still have, is that still our house, or did they get rid of it? Because I ran into James in Arlington and he said he's staying in Arlington. So I thought he was staying in the house. So is that house still in the family's possession? Yes or no? He said arrestable amount. Kinfolk, I need terminology, kinfolk. I know she could have went to jail if they caught it on her. I got it on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know she'd have went to jail if she'd have got pulled over with it. That boy said arrestable amount. Boy, that has me in tears, boy. Arrestable amount. I hate that you put the hyphen in there. You are an idiot, bro. He said, stop snitching on my mama about the QPs. Hey, famo. What, they gonna dig her up, kinfolk? It's over with. But no, die, hope you live in the sky. Pray the Lord, oh, die, hope you live in the sky. Shout out to that boy Tip, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can't go get her where she at, kinfolk. She over in that sweet by and by. So they can't arrest her on no QPs. She said, "Auntie gonna rock with you till the wheels fall off." Hey, don't I know it? Love you big, love you a long time. You know what I'm saying? Love you a long time. Anyway, listen, man. Y'all just over here shooting the bull with your boy, dog. I promise you I ain't got nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully racking up these hours on YouTube. You feel me? Love y'all, man. Have to find out nephew about that. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to find out nephew about the house." Yeah, I mean, I got James' number too. I can just ask him because I'm supposed to go work out with him. But I just was wondering. I'm like, I thought he was staying in the house, you know. But it's a very old house too, so I didn't know what was centered around it. But I would love for us to hold on to that house if we could, even do some type of renovation or something to it. Let me know. I'll see what can be done. You feel me? But you know, that's not a here no doubt. Anyway, gotta put my old bid in. But listen, dog, this has been eventful and fun. I think we definitely dealt with the real stuff early on. You know what I'm saying? Folk. I don't know what you're laughing about. I don't know if you're talking about the arrestable amount or not, but yeah, dog, you stupid. I promise you dumb. But man, listen, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to the introduction, man. Y'all been rocking with your boy for Shiggity Show. I appreciate you, man. Hopefully you have a better understanding of what this network is about, what this YouTube is about, what you can expect from it. He said I would have let her ride shoddy with no cuffs though. Yeah, folks. Hey, listen, you can't. What you look like putting a granny in cuffs, dog? And she ain't nothing. She just it's recreational. Hey, matter of fact, Kimbo, she got a problem, so you got to put her in rehab. You know what I'm saying? He said I'll let her ride the front. Hey, folks, she love Nelly and Ludacris and Buster. She used to call them Buster Rhymes. she took that T out of there. Yeah, that house was over 60 years old. Yeah, it was creaky even back then. So I I just, man, listen. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't that big of a house. Shannon Sharp love to make a big deal about that 1,000-foot cinder block home. I'm like, man, Kippo, my granny had the same size house. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't doing nothing big, boy. Shut up. Hey, it leaked in that house when it rained too. Shut up. shout out to Shannon Sharp though. Shout out to old Shay Shay. But man, if y'all hit the like yet, I'm gonna keep bothering y'all. I really do look like I got that glow. Watch out for me, I'm about to glow. Y'all better make sure I hit that like. I'm gonna start cussing. I don't got no problem cussing nobody out. But we know we just talked about language earlier, but I'll bring it back up. So, hey man, when y'all leave, I leave, kinfolk. Otherwise, we go. Nah, I ain't gonna do y'all like that. People got stuff to do. People got sleep to get. This is my long weekend coming up, kinfolk. I think I want to do another episode this weekend, but matter of fact, I need to see if Shador is actually gonna be playing this weekend because I heard that he may be playing. It should have stayed in the family. I hope it's still in the family. Yeah, I believe that it. I mean, somebody probably could have gave him a good chunk of change for that house. I ain't gonna lie to you, because that'll be a prime neighborhood, and I know you know what I'm talking about, considering what it looked like over there by SS Dillo and all of that, where SS Dillo used to be, at least, or in I Am Terrell. That's prime real estate for somebody to redevelop and rebuild over there. So if the family should at least benefit from that. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you know, I don't know what they end up doing. Hopefully they still have a house. But, you know, it is what it is. But anyway. Y'all make me feel so loved. You guys won't leave me. Like, man. But anyway. Now I'm gonna hop off here, dog. Every time I'm about to hop off here, somebody else do a comment and I gotta stay, you know what I'm saying? I gotta stay over here. But nah, I think that's it though. We're finna go and hop off here, man. Thank you for everybody who did stay and tune in and watch for an hour and a half, essentially, man. Y'all, my people, I rock with you the long way, strong way. You feel me? Until next time, I love you. May the Lord keep you. Here you go. Good night, Mr. Randy. Shout out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, until next time, I love you. May the Lord keep you. I'll see you at the conference, kinfolk. Peace.